Hello, friend. Today's lesson is going to be a great one. I'm very excited for it. It has to do with control. In the physical sense, our physical fitness, our physical movement, controlling that. And in the more metaphorical sense, why control with ourselves is going to translate into better giving towards others, better control for the things and the outcomes that we want in the rest of our lives, all right? It's gonna start with a little story and a lesson I learned in my Jiu-Jitsu class. My Jiu-Jitsu professor was teaching recently, and he was talking to us about a certain technique, okay? And in this technique, if you set up to do something, right, some sort of attack, and you don't have your foundation set, you don't have your physical balance, right? You might look like you're in the right position, it might be pretty close, but something is not grounded, something is lacking control, okay? It is very, very easy for the opponent to take you down and to reverse the move. It is also pretty much impossible for you to have any kind of effect on your opponent. When you lack control with yourselves, you cannot control the other person. You cannot control the other thing, right? So in this jiu-jitsu sense, the goal is to control the opponent. And what my teacher was explaining is that it is impossible to control your opponent when you don't first have control of yourself, okay? Big lesson here that I took away, and I want you to take away as well. Of course, in the fitness sense, right, with strength training, with anything, you have to control your own breathing. You have to control your own movement if you want better performance. But I want to take this into a life perspective, right? A bigger point of view. The clients that I work with, especially when I start with them, before I get to have these conversations, the people that I encounter all the time, myself from time to time, and probably you, most of us, are challenged by this idea from time to time, okay? We want to do for others. We want to do for the outside, right? Which is not wrong, it's not bad, it's very good, it's noble, it's how we should do things, right? We want to help our family. We want to help our kids, our spouse, our boss, our employees, our clients. We want to do for the outside world, which is life, right? There's no money to be had, there's no happiness or love to be received if you're not also doing good for other people. That's the whole point of life, right? One of the big pillars, one of the big principles. But the lesson is that you can't do any of that successfully, at least, right? With any sort of effectiveness or consistency or fulfillment if you, me, each other, all of us, if we are not in control of ourselves first and foremost, before anything else. That's the part that trips everybody up, is they say, okay, I can control myself, I can do some things for myself, right? I'll get on my workout routine, I'll start focusing on my habits, I'll start focusing on things that will make me stronger and healthier. But the second something comes up, the second we get a call, the second we get an email, the second we get a request from somebody, it switches, right? We all of a sudden put ourselves in the background and we take over that reflexive request immediately and before anything else, okay? And that just can't fly. It can't be the way that we live our lives if we want any sort of long-term real fulfillment and success. Not success from any one specific definition, right? That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Success means a lot of things. But if we want to really, not on the surface, but deep down feel successful with how we live our lives, with what we contribute, with how fulfilled we are with the way that we carry ourselves, we need to control ourselves, our habits, our disciplines, our focus first, and then do for others, okay? It's not always gonna be perfect. It's very rarely gonna be perfect, right? Obviously, there are many days, and there will always be days, no matter how good we get at this, that you and I struggle to control ourselves, struggle to keep consistent with our own disciplines and our own habits. There are many times where we put other things, other people, other problems way ahead of ourselves. It's gonna happen to me. It's gonna happen to you forever, right? Time and time again, because we're humans. We default to imperfection. That's okay, all right? But the point of this is to not think that is okay, is not to let that happen when you have the choice. And we always have the choice. Okay, so if you're gonna take away one thing from this video, which should always be the goal, I want you to take away one thing that you can actually put into practice, not just more information, not just something to expand the mind and then, disappear, something that you can actually put into your day today, your day tomorrow, right in the short term, is control every aspect of yourself that you can, and you will better be able to control the rest, right? Not just control yourself and then try to do for others. Remember, if you simply just focus on bettering every aspect that you can of your day, and your day is your life, right? A life is lots of days stacked together. So if you focus on this moment, this hour, this day, what habits, what actions fill that, right? Your exercise, your self-hygiene, your intake of knowledge, your output of production on something to improve a skill, right? Your sleep habits, your nutrition, the food you take in, the people you surround yourself. If you improve all of those little areas, right? The exercise improves a little bit today. The nutrition comes up a little bit. Everything starts stacking. By default, without even having to change anything else, the way that you present yourself to other people is going to be better. That will inspire them more. That will make them better at what they do. That's helping people just by you being better, right? The way that you teach lessons to your children through your words and through your actions, most of all, will be better because your actions are better, right? The way that you present yourself to your boss or to your clients or to your employees will be better because you are better. Everything that makes up you, right? The person listening to me right now is going to be elevated on a day-to-day basis over and over and over, and that's gonna compound, which means everything that you do for everybody else, for every other problem out there is gonna be better. So why not check off or, throw, what's the expression? 2 birds with 1 stone. Why don't you do that and make the most of yourself and others at the same time, all right? Control yourself and everything else will be controlled around you as best as is possible, all right? Enjoy.